Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Supportive Oracle Cards, the Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Alright, what do we got for Capricorn? You got an interesting card coming up. Oh, well, there's, I don't know. I know I see the card, but before I start talking about it, we should go in order because how it's coming in is important versus what we'll get there. You seem to be doing well. Let's get there. Let's not jump the gun. Do it in order, right? Okay. Starting off, you got attachment or detachment. I feel more detached than attached. It's weird. Because I'm feeling like, I know it says attachment, but it might be attachment to your behavior with this person. Kind of like, I kind of stay back. I feel like I try to stay back. And the attachment might be with like how you're perceiving them. Although I have a weird feeling that you might not be wrong. It might be somebody you're like, I don't go there. Like, I don't want to deal with that. No, I don't think so. And it may be one of those things where you just don't want to. You're like, nothing's happened. Other people get along with this person, I just don't want to. And you don't have like a solid reason for it other than you just don't want to. And that's just what it is. There's just something nagging at you like, I just don't want to. So I'm not going to. And I feel like that's the attachment. But the thing is, when I'm feeling attachment, you might also be fighting yourself on your... Why are you fighting yourself on this? Why are you fighting? Kind of like other people like this person. Maybe I should give them a chance. And I'm wondering if that's where the attachment really starts. Kind of like... It's almost like, you know, if it's a family person, like somebody is a friend of the family or married in or starting to date another person in this family, in your family or something like that, or your friend group or something like that. And you're like, oh, I didn't expect them to last this long, but they're still around. I mean, I guess I should play nice. But you still don't want to. I keep getting that, like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And the yin-yang with the storm warning here, there's something about this. I feel like for most of you it's a person. It could be a situation thing. Take it with a grain of salt. But there's something here that's just not right. The yin-yang, especially when it's touching over here, it's kind of like you might have seen a couple little pieces of this, but it's kind of like something isn't quite right. Now, when I say something isn't quite right, that is subjective to you. So it's just like this is not something that would jive with you. Now, I'm not going to go into, you know, it's not right or wrong is its own thing. It's just not something that matches the way you do things. Let's just leave it at that for this point. Because it feels like it's a very touchy subject. Now, I feel like you're kind of going on this situation like this person isn't going anywhere. And I feel like if they're going to keep being here, I need to kind of like move forward. I need to kind of correct this or try to kind of know what's going on here. I feel like I got to get a little closer. I'm not going to jump in, you know, I'm not going to jump in the deep end here. I'm not going to do that. But like it's kind of like you've been staying even, like there's the pool and there's the deep end and you're just kind of like on the outside of the yard. You're not even in the yard yet, like right on the outside, you know, like I guess I could just kind of, you know, hang out here on the edge of the yard. I can do that. I'll do that. I don't want to. And I keep feeling that energy, like I don't really want to, but I can hang out on the edge of the yard, like everybody's here anyway. It's almost like a party at somebody's house, literally, and I feel like there's the pool, the deep end, and then there's this whole yard, and you're just like right outside, like you're still hanging out near your car, which is funny, because it's kind of like that. It's not like that's conspicuous, but whatever. It's fine. This is how you feel is right to handle this, and you're like, all right, party's we're not going anywhere, and we're staying here. All right, yeah, okay, I'll do the edge of the yard. I'll do the edge of the yard. I think that's technically in the party, right? That should be good enough, right? I'll do that. All right. I'm still fighting myself. I almost feel like I'm forcing, like nobody's pushing me in because they know better. Because they know better. But you're like, ugh, you're forcing yourself. You're forcing you, which is, you got to do what you got to do. And you're like, all right, I'll do this far. It's kind of like, before it becomes an issue, I'll force myself this far. I can do that much. It's annoying me. Like, I don't want to do it. I keep thinking that over and over in my head. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But you do. And you're like, all right, I got that far. Let me see if I can figure out more about what's going on here. I'm closer. I can see more about what's going on. Let me just watch this person from afar and see what type of qualities maybe we match on. Let's try that. I'll try to find things we can match on. I'll try to find things that we can be on the same page, and I'll try to find a common link, because they're obviously not going anywhere. They're going to still be here. So you got the goddess of the moon here. You're trying to find connections here. It's kind of like you're on the outside of the yard and like, oh, they like these type of plants, they like those type of plants. They're not really taking care of them all that well, but they're here, they're nice, I like these type of plants. I feel like you're trying, but you're still finding fault with the situation. You can't help it. Like, you're kind of like, oh, those are nice plants. I don't really know about the way they have them lined up here. I don't know if that really makes sense. I mean, this plant needs more light, and they got it in the shade. But this is their business. That's fine. That's fine. They like those plants. That's okay. Seems a little out of order. Seems a little disheveled, but that's fine. It's fine. And I feel like they know they're not oblivious to you kind of being apprehensive to them. I don't think they're oblivious to that. But you're going slowly into this. Like, it's kind of like, let's see how it goes. Taking your time. You're going very carefully. And you're like, they're not oblivious, but they don't know what you really think of them. They know you're apprehensive, but they don't know why. And between you and this energy, nothing is really changing at this point. Four of Pentacles, nothing's really changing at this point. You're closer, but your opinion is not changing. You're like, I still don't want to do this. This other person, they're like, oh, this is my opportunity. Let me get rid of some of this mystery. Because this is the environment, yeah. They're coming forward. They're like, okay, Capricorn came into the edge of the yard. I'll move forward and I'll invite him into the pool. Yeah, then we can be friends. That's a good idea. I don't know about this. They're seeing an opportunity to try to get a little closer. They're trying to bridge the gap. This is not negative. Why am I hesitating with that? They don't know what to make of you. I don't think this energy matches you, especially when I'm getting a lot of fire. Fire and earth don't really match. Two different ways of doing things. Fire is quick, let's do it, get it done, go boom, 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 boom. 5 different things all at once, let's get done. Earth is kind of like, we do it in order, we do it correctly, we do it with respect and with quality. Not that fire doesn't have quality, but like, earth is a planner. Fire, not so much. This energy is not matching you. So left, right, or indifferent, in the sense of like what type of person they are, it's just a different energy than you. Information comes forward to you. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, like they make a good point, or whatever they say to you, they're offering you something, they're being nice to you. I feel like you're looking at this like, I really have no reason to say no. And if I do say no, it's gonna like, people are gonna notice. So I can say no. This is, again, I feel like you're forcing yourself closer to the situation. You're deciding. Nobody's pushing you. I'm getting that over and over. Like, nobody's pushing you. They know better. But at this point, you're like, if I say no, I'm going to have to deal with this later. That's how you're looking at it. Like, if I say no, I know there's going to be a headache later with this, and it's never going to end. And I should give... They're not going away. It's not like they're just going away. They're still around. So. 10 of Wands is like you're forcing yourself even closer. But the 10 of Wands is like there's stress, but nobody's forcing you to do anything. You're just kind of like, all right, you think you should. That's why this is happening. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. Even though you're kind of pushing yourself into it. You're kind of dragging your feet like, I guess I should do this. I'll do it. It makes sense. It's a good offer. Somebody's being nice to you. I don't know about this. something isn't right here, and I'm trying to put my finger on it. I know something isn't right here. Because I'm getting the Temple with the Eight of Cups. I feel like this is a moment. Your heart's not really into it. You try to be nicer, you try to be closer, you try to be a part of the situation. You're like, you never got in the pool, but I feel like you were hanging out at the edge. You might have hung out around the pool, but you didn't go in, all right? So it's kind of like if you were hanging out in the parking lot, you got to the edge of the yard, and you got right into the situation, and then you're like, you got as close as to the edge of the pool. So even if it was a pool party, you never went in the pool. Okay. You're like, all right. And you feel like you got pretty deep. But the thing is, you got really close, but I'm noticing this person, it seems like they're walking around the temple. And it's kind of like, you know what, this isn't for me. And it was a nice moment, and there's no animosity, and you're like, that's good enough. But you're like, I don't want to do this. And you got to honor your own feelings. And I feel like that's what this reading is about, kind of saying, yes, honor your own feelings. It has nothing to do with good, bad, or indifferent person. This is not an energy that matches you, and part of you knows that. Part of you knows this person does not match you. We can coexist and be cool, but we don't have to hang out and have dinner together. You know, you have dinner at your house, great. I'm gonna have dinner at my house, cool. We don't need to hang out and have meals together. I don't really want to. Now, this is what's in the environment. This person, like, for some reason, they might be caught up in their own thoughts. They've got the moon with the deception here. Deceit, deception, you know, all the same boat. Same thing technically, isn't it? Well, deception is active, right? If you're being deceptive, that's active, isn't it? Deceit doesn't have to be active. That could be internal. Same ballpark, either way. The moon card is like, who's deceiving who here? What's going on with this? This energy is very confusing because I feel like somebody might be caught up in their own thoughts. Like, they might be kind of like, apparently the Capricorn just has an issue with me, and I don't know what it is. The moon with the deceit especially. I feel like they don't understand what's really going on, and they're really like, they might start getting bent out of shape with this. The deceit with the moon. The more I'm feeling this, I feel like I'm afraid of shadows that aren't really there. You don't have, you're not working against this person. You just don't want to hang out with them. Literally, I think that's all it is. It's not like you have anything against them. You're just kind of like, yeah, we're just different flavors that don't match. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they're butterscotch and I'm pineapple, and I don't think they match. I don't think these flavors match. Watching the comments, somebody be like, oh, they match. No. They're butterscotch, I'm pineapple, I just don't think it matches. I just don't think it goes together. I honestly don't think that goes together. Or like pineapple and coffee, that definitely doesn't go together. You can't sell me on that one. Like pineapple coffee, I don't think pineapple coffee would work. So with this, your coffee, their pineapple, this doesn't match. This just does not match. But they're getting caught up in their head. Like, why don't you want to try? Like, we could make it like that. Couldn't you make that into a good dessert, like pineapple with coffee cream on top? Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, you can't. There's a problem here, and I feel like they're trying to give you a heads up. This person doesn't seem to understand that you're just not interested. No negativity. You don't have any negativity towards them. I really don't think you do. But they might be creating their own negativity with it. There's a misconception here. I feel like this is advice at the end. I just feel like if you somehow state it, kind of like, you know, there's a lot of people in the world that are cool on their own, and they do their thing and you do your own thing. Somehow, if there's just a way to state that, kind of like, just because everybody's good doesn't mean we all have to hang out. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple kind words to that person. Kind of like, they have this plant and that plant in their yard, and I think those are cool plants. You know, we all do our thing our own way, that's cool. There's a problem here. Even though the Ace of Cups is here with the Strength card, I just feel like there's energy coming forward. Somebody's going to try to be like the middle person here. When I'm feeling that this card here, the Strength, it reminds me of somebody I know. And it's kind of like, I feel like the other person's going to get all caught up in their head and think there's a problem. somebody else is going to hear about it and be like, well, let me try to smooth it out between the two of them. And literally, you don't have any animosity. And I feel like they're trying to give you the heads up before this comes your way. If you just drop little messages, or when you're talking about this person to other people, if their name comes up, like, you don't even have to talk about them. Like, I'm not saying you have to talk about them. I know that's how it came out, though. But if there's conversations coming up and they're in that conversation, just like, I don't really know them that well, but it's cool what they do. I think we're just different types of people. I think that's great. Yeah, so-and-so is seeing that person. I think they're fine. That's cool. I mean, they do things their way. I do things my way. You may even want to bring up, they have a couple bushes. That's how they put their bushes. I have similar bushes, but I do them differently. I think it's cool, and I think they should do things their way, and I'm going to stay over here and do things my way. No animosity. I just think we're different people. If it gets that far. I don't know how you're going to get it that far, but you know how conversations just evolve on their own. Oh, so-and-so doesn't think you like them. I think they're fine. We're different types of people. They do their thing, I do my thing. I just, no, there's nothing wrong. I just don't really want to hang out with them. Not for any bad reason, just that I think we have different interests or different ways of doing things. It's coming forward. Somebody's going to try to get in. Like, I feel somebody trying to mediate something that doesn't need to be mediated. I feel like it just needs to be explained. Like, we're just different. I just don't want to hang out with them. They're fine. They're cool. Great. Have a great life. Date that person. That's cool. I have no problem. Seeing them at parties once in a while, that's fine. I just don't want to hang out with them. Like, if there's a bunch of people in my family or the friend group, that's cool that they're there. I have no problem with that, but I don't want to hang out with them one-on-one. I just don't see them that way. I feel like that's what they're doing. They're trying to give you a heads up before somebody comes in between you and this person, so you're not shocked. Because I feel like if you're shocked, that could be a problem. Kind of like, what do you mean there's a problem? I don't have a problem. If they have a problem, then that's their problem. I just feel like that might come out that way. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but if somebody like shocks you and you're like, I don't have a problem with them, but if they have a problem with me, then that's their problem. I'm not going to run around solving other people's problems. But if you're seeing it, I feel like you might handle that a little differently, kind of like, I don't have an issue. We're just different people. They can hang out over there with those people, cool. If we end up in the same group, I don't have a problem with them being around. But I'm not going to hang out with them and have dinner or anything. I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go, garage sailing with them or whatever. I don't know why garage sailing flew out. But, I'm not going to go out there and go hunting with them or whatever activity you could think of. I'm not going to go out there and play tennis with them. We're not that type of connection. They're cool. I have no problem with them. I just don't want to hang out with them. There's no animosity. All right, do what you got to do with that. It's interesting. I feel like they're just trying to help you see it. Because if you see it coming, it's just like, no sweat. Yeah, I knew that. Whatever. It's not a problem. Moving on. But if somebody shocks you and just kind of comes up in your face, kind of like, so you have a problem with so-and-so? And you're like, no, I don't, but do you? Kind of like, it just might tick you off if somebody just gets right in your face, kind of like, so you have a problem? Like, no, I don't. But I can if you want me to. Whatever that is. I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.